Hello and welcome. Today we begin our English journey. Do not worry if you only know a few words, because every journey starts small. In this lesson, we will learn how to use simple words. These words are short, easy, and powerful. By the end of this video, you will be able to name things, make small sentences, and feel more confident in English. So let us start with simple words. Chapter 1. Start with simple words. You begin your English journey with simple words. These words are short, they are easy. You hear them in movies, in songs, and in daily life. You use them when you speak to your friends, your family, or even strangers. Simple words are the first step to learning English. Without them, you cannot make sentences. With them, you can express yourself. You see that simple words are everywhere. You look around your room. You say table, you say chair, you say book. These are not big words. They are small, but they are powerful. When you name things, you start to feel control. You understand that English is not far from you. It is right here in your room, in your hands, in your daily life. You practice these words every day. You take one word and repeat it slowly. You say it clearly, you listen to yourself. Then you say it again a little faster. You play with the sound. You feel the rhythm of the word. You smile because you can say it better now. Practice makes you strong, and practice makes English your friend. You also use these words in small sentences. You say, "This is a pen," you say. "That is a bag," you say. "I have a phone." Every sentence is short, but every sentence teaches you something new. You learn how words come together. You learn how meaning grows. You notice that English is like building blocks. One block is one word. You add another block and you make a sentence. You add one more block and you tell a story. At first, the blocks are simple. I, you, cat, dog, run, eat. But with these blocks, you already speak English. You already communicate. You listen to yourself. You notice your voice. You see how English sounds different from your own language. You enjoy this new sound. You say, "I am happy." You say, "You are here." You say, "We are friends." You hear yourself and you feel progress. You use simple action words too. You say, "I eat." You say, "I run." You say, "I read." These verbs are small, but they give you power. They let you talk about what you do. They help you share your life. When you say them again and again, they stay in your memory. They become a part of you. You also learn to connect words. You say, "I eat rice." You say, "I read books." You say, "I run fast." You see how one small word can grow into a full idea. You do not need to know hundreds of words. You only need a few to start. Step by step, you add more. You keep your focus on listening and speaking. You listen to English songs and repeat the easy words. You listen to podcasts and notice the common words. You watch videos and copy the sound. You do not worry about being perfect. You only want to be better today than you were yesterday. You play games with words. You look around your house and name 5 objects. You go outside and name 5 things you see. You try to think in English. When you see the sky, you say sky. When you see water, you say water. When you see food, you say food. The world becomes your teacher. Everything teaches you English. You make mistakes, but you do not stop. You say, "This book is red," even if your voice shakes. You say, "I drink tea," even if you forget the right sound. Mistakes are not a problem. Mistakes are steps. Each mistake brings you closer to good English. You write words in a notebook. You keep them with you. You read them again at night. You say them aloud before you sleep. You remember them when you wake up. Slowly, they live inside your mind. They become natural. You feel your confidence growing. Yesterday, you only knew one word. Today, you know 5. Tomorrow, you may know 10. Each day adds something. Each day makes you stronger. You see that learning English is not hard. It is only a habit. You understand that every expert starts with simple words. No one begins with long sentences. No one begins with big grammar. Everyone starts small. You are doing the same. You are learning the right way. You imagine yourself speaking English. You see yourself in a shop asking for bread. You see yourself with a friend saying hello. You see yourself on a trip asking for directions. All of this begins with simple words. You believe in yourself. You know you can do it. You say, I can learn, I can speak, I can grow. You repeat these words and they give you strength. English is no longer a strange language. English is your language now. You take one step today, tomorrow you will take another. You know that every journey begins with one step. Your journey begins with simple words. And today, you already begin. Chapter 2, Build Easy Sentences. You already know simple words. Now you use them to build sentences. Words are like bricks. One brick alone is nothing, but many bricks together can make a strong house. In the same way, one word alone is small, but many words together create meaning. You use sentences to talk, to ask, and to share your ideas. You start with very small sentences. You say, I am fine, you say. You are kind, you say, this is good. These sentences are short, but they are complete. Each one has a subject, a verb, and sometimes an object. You feel proud when you make them. You see how words join to give full sense. You notice that every sentence has a subject. The subject tells who or what the sentence is about. You say, I eat. Here, I is the subject. You say, the dog runs. Here, the dog is the subject. You understand that every sentence needs a subject, and you begin to use subjects in the right way. You also notice that every sentence has a verb. The verb tells what happens. You say, I read. The verb is read. You say, she sings. The verb is sings. The subject and verb work together like friends. Without a verb, a sentence feels empty. With a verb, the sentence comes alive. You practice again and again. You take one subject and one verb. You say, I play. You say, you run. You say, they eat. Then you add one more word. You say, I play football. You say, you run fast. You say, they eat rice. Every time you add a new word, the sentence grows bigger. You also learn questions. You ask, are you fine? You ask, is this your book? You ask, do you like tea? When you use questions, you start to communicate. You are not only speaking, you are also asking, listening, and sharing. Questions make English more fun for you. You use sentences for greetings. You say, good morning. You say, how are you? You say, I am happy to meet you. You practice these sentences until they feel natural. You can use them at school, at work, or with friends. They are useful in daily life. You try short conversations. You say, hello, how are you? I am fine, how are you? I am good, thank you. This is a simple exchange, but it makes you feel strong. You see yourself speaking English with another person. You practice every day. You write 2 sentences in your notebook. You read them aloud. You check if they make sense. You correct your mistakes. You repeat them until you feel comfortable. Slowly, you add more sentences to your practice. You listen to native speakers. You hear how they build sentences. You copy their style. You notice that they often use short, clear words. You realize that English is not about being difficult. English is about being clear. You follow this rule in your own sentences. You also learn to use I, you, he, she, we, and they. You say, I like music, you say. He plays cricket, you say, we read books. You see how the verb changes with the subject. You pay attention to these small changes, and you get better every day. You create sentences about your life. You say, I live in a small town. You say, I go to school. You say, my mother cooks food. You use English to talk about real things. You feel connected to the language because it describes your world. You play a game with yourself. You look at one object and make a sentence. You see a bag and you say, the bag is black. You see a door and you say, the door is open. You see a clock and you say, the clock shows time. This game helps you think in English. You keep your sentences short. You do not try to make them long or difficult. You know that short sentences are strong. They are easy to say, they are easy to remember. Later, you can make longer sentences. But for now, you enjoy the short ones. You do not stop when you make mistakes. You say, I is happy, then you laugh. You correct yourself and say, I am happy. You learn from every mistake. You do not feel afraid because mistakes are a part of learning. You believe in yourself. You say, I can make sentences. You say, I can speak English. You say, every day I improve. These sentences give you power. They remind you that English is not only about words. English is about courage, practice, and belief. You know that learning is slow, but it is sure. Each day you add one more sentence. Each day you speak with more confidence. You build English step by step. And you are already on the way. Your house of English is rising. The first brick was simple words. The second brick is easy sentences. You stand tall, and you are ready for the next step. Chapter 3, Learn Everyday Questions. You already know words. You already make easy sentences. Now you begin to ask questions. Questions are very important in English. Questions help you start a talk. Questions help you continue a talk. Questions show that you want to know more. You start with the simplest question. How are you? You say it slowly. You listen to the sound. You repeat it again. You use it when you meet a person. You see how this small question opens a conversation. You say, how are you? And the other person answers. You feel happy because you start the talk. You learn that questions begin with special words. These words are what, where, when, who, why, how. These are your tools. You use them every day. They are short, but they are powerful. You practice with what, you ask. What is this, you ask. What is your name? You ask, what do you like? With what, you discover new things. You use it to learn about objects, names, and choices. You practice with where, you ask. Where are you, you ask. Where is the bus stop? You ask, where do you live? With where, you find places. You use it when you travel, when you meet people, or when you need directions. You practice with when, you ask. When is your birthday, you ask. When does the train leave? You ask, when will we meet? With when, you learn about time. You use it to plan, to wait, and to remember. You practice with who, you ask. Who is he, you ask. Who is your teacher? You ask, who lives here? With who, you talk about people. You use it when you want to know names or relationships. You practice with why, you ask. Why are you sad, you ask. Why is the shop closed? You ask, why do you study English? With why, you look for reasons. You use it when you want to understand more deeply. You practice with how, you ask. How are you? You ask, how old are you? You ask, how do you cook this? With how, you learn about ways and methods. You use it every day. You notice that questions often end with a question mark. You see the mark, and you know it is a question. You also notice that your voice rises at the end when you speak. This rising sound makes your sentence a question. You practice saying it with the right tone. You use questions in short conversations. You say, "Where are you going?" "I am going home." "What do you want to eat?" "I want rice." "When will you come back?" "I will come back tomorrow." This practice makes you feel like a real speaker. You keep a small list of daily questions. You write, "What is your name?" "How are you?" "Where do you live?" "What do you do?" "Do you like tea?" You read this list every morning. You try to use at least one question in the day. This keeps English alive in your routine. You practice in your mind. You imagine meeting a new person. You think, what can I ask? You prepare 2 or 3 questions. You say them aloud. Then when you meet someone, you are ready. You feel brave because you already practiced. You understand that questions are keys. They open doors. They bring answers. They make friends. When you ask, what is your favorite food? The other person smiles and talks. When you ask, where are you from? The other person shares a story. With questions, you connect. You also ask yourself questions. You say, what did I learn today? You say, why am I studying English? You say, how can I be better tomorrow? These questions push you forward. They keep your mind active. You do not fear mistakes. Maybe you say, where you live, instead of where do you live? That is fine. The listener still understands. You correct yourself and try again. Every mistake is a lesson. Every question makes you stronger. You keep asking. You ask at school. You ask at work. You ask at home. You ask in the shop. You use English questions in real life. Slowly, they become natural for you. You feel proud. You see that English is not just about words. It is about interaction. It is about learning from others. And every question helps you interact better. You now hold another tool in your hand. Simple words gave you a start. Easy sentences gave you structure. Everyday questions now give you connection. With them, you can talk to anyone. With them, you open the world of English wider. Chapter 4. Practice greetings and introductions. You already know words, sentences, and questions. Now you learn something very useful: greetings and introductions. Greetings are the first words you say when you meet someone. Introductions are the words you use when you talk about yourself. These 2 skills help you connect with people. You begin with greetings. You say hello. You say hi. These words are small, but they open a door. You meet a friend and you say hello. You meet a stranger and you say hi. Your smile makes the greeting even better. You also use greetings for different times of the day. In the morning you say, good morning. In the afternoon you say, good afternoon. At night you say, good evening. Before going to sleep you say, good night. These greetings show respect. They show that you care about the time of day. You practice more. You say, good morning, how are you? Good afternoon, how was your day? Good evening, nice to see you. Each time you feel more natural. Each time you feel more confident. You also learn polite words. You say, please. You say, thank you. You say, you are welcome. These words make your greetings and talk softer. They make people happy to speak with you. After greetings, you move to introductions. You tell people who you are. You say, my name is, then you add your name. You say, I am from, then you add your place. You say, I am a student, or I am a teacher. These sentences help others know you. You practice introducing yourself. You say, hello, my name is John. I am from India. I am a student. Nice to meet you. You repeat it until it feels easy. You speak it in front of a mirror. You look at yourself and say the words. You imagine meeting a new person. You feel ready. You also practice asking for introductions. You say, what is your name? You say, where are you from? You say, what do you do? These questions show that you are interested in the other person. They make the talk friendly. You try short conversations with greetings and introductions. You say, hello, my name is Sarah. What is your name? My name is Ali. Nice to meet you, Ali. Where are you from? I am from Egypt. Where are you from? I am from India. This small talk feels simple, but it is powerful. You connect with someone new. You notice that greetings are not only words. They are also about body language. When you greet, you smile. When you introduce yourself, you look into the eyes. If the culture allows, you shake hands. These actions make your English stronger. You practice polite responses too. When someone says, nice to meet you, you answer, nice to meet you too. When someone says, how are you? You answer, I am fine, thank you, and you. These answers keep the conversation alive. You use greetings in different places. At school you say, good morning, teacher. At work you say, hello, everyone. In a shop you say, good afternoon. Each greeting fits the place. Each greeting makes you more confident. You also learn casual greetings. You say, hey, you say, what is up? You say, how is it going? These are informal. You use them with friends, not with teachers or strangers. You understand the difference, and you use them carefully. You make mistakes, but you learn. Maybe you say, good night, when you meet someone in the evening. Later you understand that good night is for leaving, not for meeting. You laugh at yourself, but you also remember the rule. Mistakes teach you. You feel proud when you use greetings and introductions in real life. You meet a new person, and you start the talk with English. You feel nervous at first, but then you feel joy. You see the smile on the other person's face. You know you are learning well. You practice every day. You greet your family in English. You introduce yourself to the mirror. You imagine new situations, at school, at a party, on a trip. You hear your voice and feel stronger. You understand one thing. Greetings and introductions are not only words. They are the beginning of friendship. They are the start of communication. They make English alive. Now you carry another tool with you. You can greet, you can introduce. You can start a talk with each step. You are becoming a true English speaker. Chapter 5, Improve with Listening. You already speak words. You already make sentences. You already greet people. Now you focus on another important skill, listening. Listening is the door to learning English. When you listen well, you speak well. When you listen carefully, you understand more. You begin by listening to simple English. You hear someone say, hello, how are you? You understand the meaning because you know these words. You repeat the sound in your mind. You see that listening is not only about hearing. Listening is about catching the sound, the tone, and the rhythm. You notice that English sounds different from your own language. Some words are soft, some words are fast, some words join together. At first you feel confused, but slowly. Your ears get stronger. You begin to catch more sounds. You practice by listening every day. You listen to songs. You listen to podcasts. You listen to short videos. You do not try to understand everything. You only focus on common words. You smile when you recognize them. Each word is a small success. You also listen to conversations. Two people talk. Hi, what are you doing? I am reading a book. When you hear this, you follow the meaning. You know hi's, you know book, you know reading. You feel proud because you understand. You play a game with yourself. You listen for one word. For example, you listen for the word time. Each time you hear it, you say yes to yourself. This makes listening fun. It trains your ear to focus. You use subtitles when you watch videos. You read the words while you listen. You see how they match. You notice the spelling. You notice the sound. You connect the two. Soon, you can watch without subtitles. You also listen to yourself. You record your voice. You say a short sentence. I like apples. You listen to the recording. You hear your sound. You compare it to the correct sound. You improve by listening to yourself. You understand that listening is not passive. It is active. You do not just hear, you pay attention. You catch words, you repeat them in your mind. You use them later in speaking. Listening becomes your teacher. You listen to slow English first. You find audio that speaks clearly. You repeat after it, you say, hello, you say thank you. You copy the sound. When you copy, you learn. You also listen to fast English. At first it feels hard, the words move quickly, but you do not give up. You try again and again. Slowly, your ears get used to the speed. You begin to catch more meaning. You notice that English has music. The voice goes up, the voice goes down, you listen to this music. You try to copy it. You understand that speaking is not only about words, it is also about rhythm. You practice listening in daily life. You hear an announcement at the bus station. You hear English words in a shop. You hear English on the radio. You stop and listen. You focus on one or two words. Even if you understand a little, you are learning. You do not feel bad if you miss something. It is normal. Even native speakers sometimes miss words. You smile and you keep listening. You know that each day makes you better. You set small goals. One day you listen for 5 minutes. The next day you listen for 10 minutes. The next week you listen for 15 minutes. Your time grows and your skill grows. You also listen with friends. You choose a short video together. You play it, you both listen. Then you talk about what you heard. This practice is fun. It makes learning easier. You keep a notebook of listening words. Each time you hear a new word, you write it down. You look up the meaning later. You use it in your own sentence. Slowly, the new word becomes yours. You feel your progress at first. You only understood one word. Later, you understood 2 sentences. Now you can understand a small story. You know that listening is working for you. You believe in yourself. You say, I can listen, I can learn, I can understand. These words give you energy. They remind you that listening is the heart of English learning. Now you carry another tool. Words gave you a start. Sentences gave you structure. Questions gave you connection. Greetings gave you confidence. And listening now gives you understanding. With listening, you step closer to fluency. Chapter 6, Believe in Yourself. You have walked far. You began with words, then sentences, then stories. You practiced every day. The most important lesson is this: believe in yourself. Books, teachers, and friends help you, but you are the one who learns. Belief is your light. It gives courage when you make mistakes and strength when you succeed. Small wins prove you are moving forward. Speak to yourself kindly. Say, I am learning, not I am bad. Set small goals. Each goal builds belief. Like water for a growing tree. Do not compare yourself too much. Every learner is unique. Trust your path, stay patient, and keep practicing. Surround yourself with positive voices. Celebrate your progress, smile at your victories. Belief is not only for English, it is for life. With belief, you can face challenges, grow, and open new doors. When you believe in yourself, the impossible becomes possible.